From a high concept, Alan Wake is he's a best-selling writer who has in the past done a successful line of novels about a hardboiled New York detective. But he hasn't managed to write anything in a couple of years, and now his wife Alice takes him away to this idyllic, small, quirky town in Washington called Bright Falls to kind of gain back his creative flow. But when she vanishes without a trace, he finds himself trapped in a nightmare. And worst of all, his latest work, a thriller novel, which he doesn't even remember writing, is now coming true before his very eyes, word for word. So, from a high concept, Alan Wake, it's a psychological action thriller. It's a story-driven experience, and we want to give the players this kind of thrill ride, roller coaster, and we've combined the mind of a psychological thriller with the body of a cinematic action game. Alice? We really wanted to look for a gameplay mechanic that hasn't been seen before in video games. So we landed on this theme of kind of light and darkness. Now, Wake's enemies are covered in these shadows and protected by a dark presence that's possessed them. And as a player, before you can do any damage to these taken, you need to first remove the protective dark presence away using some kind of light source. So light is intuitive throughout the whole of Alan Wake. You can utilize you have different types of light sources such as flashlights, or you can mount turrets. You can utilize the environments or headlights of cars, for instance. It's this environmental puzzles. We've really taken it to the next level. We're really pushing the envelope of storytelling in video games. And when I say that, what we're actually doing is having a lot of good in-game storytelling tools. So having a writer as the protagonist, it allows us to tell the story in-game through his own narrative and inner monologue. So even after a tight action scene, he can narrate some of the thoughts and feelings that is going through his head. And we play on this subjective and objective reality where he's doubting, is this really happening, or is it just a figment of his imagination? This is a thriller, and with a thriller you really need to have good pacing. And we do have daytime scenes and nighttime scenes. So the game is structured like that of a TV series, so it's broken down into episodes. And pretty much in all of the episodes you'll have nighttime and daytime scenes. And that's important because, if you constantly scare a player, you start to become immune to that. And to have a thrill ride, you have to be able to kind of get their pulse racing and their heart pounding. And just when you do that, you need to add a daytime scene in there where you add a kind of essence of safety and comfortableness. And just as the player is then feeling like all happy listening to these quirky locals telling silly jokes, then we bring in the nighttime, and again the hairs stand up on the back of your neck, and we present this kind of roller coaster ride in a TV series thriller format. We have a strong supporting cast around Wake himself. You can think of the cast in Alan Wake to be similar to that of a modern day TV series. So if you like Lost or 24 or Prison Break, I mean there's some similarities there. So we have a previously on, and we have a to be continued, and the supporting cast, they all have a reason for being there, and they all have a role in the story as well. Some of them are there to help you, and some of them have other motives. But I don't want to give away any of the plot. That's for the player to kind of unravel the mystery and see who is there as your friend and who is there as your foe.
Yes. All right.